lot of things. I don't just hit things. I can also play the piano and sing.
I can scream. Like,
Yeah, that's good. In the middle of everything. That was when the dildo ended. No, sorry. Just keep up.
So we were talking about processes and.
So I had a friend, and she was like, that the song has to come out. So that was the idea there, that the song had to be created and produced. I was just thinking of something. I have these funny thoughts sometimes. Like if you were at an airport and you were like, I had this thing, I had to make a collage or something. You're like, it would be cool if I get an old passport and start cutting that up and put it. Like that's.
You're looking scared.
That's what I was thinking. Like, just cutting up passports. Really.
Yeah.
In front of people. I just see that visually. Like, just have to.
That sounds more like a performance piece.
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe that's my calling.
Yeah.
Cutting up people's passports. Like lying around airports, cutting up people's passports.
Like get you arrested, but I mean.
Yeah, but
it was not as long as it was.
Yeah.
Not if you do it anonymously, like Banksy.
I could do actually, but I'm running up to people taking their passports, putting them up. I could just try and make a political point as well. What party should I represent? There's a political party in the UK called the Monster Raving Loony Party.
Oh, that sounds nice.
That's a real party.
What do they stand for?
No, they just have parties. No.
Oh, rave parties?
I think so.
I would join that party.
Yeah.
A party.
Yeah, they do. But I was looking up some information today on a website called katrinaleite.com.
Oh, is that online?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think it is actually, but
I saw that there's someone you'd been to Finland. Is it true? And studied there.
I was there for 4 years.
You were in Finland for 4 years.
Kyllä. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so what was your experience in Finland? Because I'm there quite a lot as well, and I get also I have a feeling about Finland. I like going back there, but I wouldn't want to live there.
I love Finland. I love the Finnish people. I think they're really warm people, and I was studying photography, so we were a lot in the art scene. Yeah. But I feel that it's there's a lot of interesting things coming out of Finland, art-wise. I just really enjoyed being there, and because we lived in this tiny village.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Where about? You were in northern.
Yeah, north of Vasa. So pretty.
Really.
And it was a small village. There was a bus going a couple of times a day to the bigger city where you had trains and flights and stuff. But so it was a really cool environment to be in. I had just turned 18 when I moved there.
Oh, wow.
And it was really.
Was it for photography? Yeah. Was there to study?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's quite a unique environment to be in, North Finland there for photography. Get chances that other people wouldn't get there. But so you found it gave you a lot to be in that environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only because I got to practice my photography, but also because since it was a really small place and we were kind of isolated there, so it was just really being surrounded by all this art and all these people doing different kinds of art was really it was intense, but it was a really creative environment. And we also partied a lot.
Well, I mean,
being 18,
getting 12 packs of beer, and it was nice.
Those were the days.
It's part of the creative process as well, and we've explored these things with, drinking and whichever, any other kind of substances. Can it be beneficial to art, or can it be actually a negative thing? Is it like a catalyst to get people started? Do people need these kind of things in their lives? And it can also be with different ages. When you're 18, definitely.
Do you feel you're more creative with substances like coffee or
red wine
or whatever?
I wouldn't say I'm more creative, but I think I definitely lose some of my inhibitions. My inner critic gets quieter.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's. I think some of my most creative periods in my life were when I was like not drinking alcohol. Yeah.
I think it's good to mix it up. It's like good to have times when you're not at all and see if maybe you produce something completely different, or maybe your mind and everything go in a completely different direction. And other times it's good to say stay up late drinking red wine, and then just writing and seeing what comes out. There can be a lot of things there, and then looking at it in the morning, you're like, oh, it's terrible. But sometimes you can wake up and be like, this is brilliant. It's like, and then, but how do I get to that state of mind again to continue the story? Because I'm only like 3 paragraphs in, but it's going somewhere.
You know what? I think that sense of just like doing stuff, I never had it quite as much as when I was a teenager and just getting started, because there was like there were no limits, and there were no critics, and I had never heard like, oh, your art sucks, or it doesn't like mean anything or say anything to me. And I actually found like a couple of poems I wrote when I was like 14. And
Those are the best.
Yeah, I started reading them, and then my husband asked me like, Kat, what's so funny? So I read them out loud to him.
What's his reaction of them?
Oh, geez, he's still mocking me. Yeah, comatose situation. I hear. It was like super bad stuff. But at the time, I was like, I was super happy for just being able to have that outlet.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, freedom just to be able to write and things like that. And also, some of those things, if they become song lyrics, that certain bands would have them and then make them popular, then they wouldn't look ridiculous. It's just the timing and the place. It's the context that you find things in. But you, as like an older version of yourself, reading back when you were 14, of course you're going to look at it in an eyes of like, oh, what was I thinking back then?
Yeah, that's true.
But sometimes you can also get back to the feelings that you had when you wrote things, because that's what I find when I go back and read things that I wrote a long time ago, and sometimes just last week, and I get into the same feeling, like, wow, this was a really strong feeling. But I was like, if we're reminiscing about when we talked to Johanna, and she had this artwork where she painted her anger, and people thought it was like beauty or something like that. So it interpreted into something else. But when you write, you actually write the words that are like connected to the feeling. So it doesn't like you really get into the feeling in another way.
It stays.
It stays, yeah.
Well, I think if we switch it the other way around, so 14-year-old you, if they could see the art and things that you do now, what would the 14-year-old you think of who you are now as a person? That's a loaded question.
Good question. I think she would think that it's way more sensible and like toned down.
Not as bold.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's something I struggle with, pushing myself and my ideas a bit further. I'm really kind of playing it safe.
Are you holding yourself back?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
And I think there's like a fear of, I don't know, like just exaggerating my ideas and just being in those ideas being too much of sorts.
Do you judge yourself?
Oh yeah. I think everybody artist does that, doesn't
I think everybody with any kind of creative endeavor will look at themselves as the biggest critic, I think, first. But I think you've had your work at art galleries and things, and you've done that. How does that feel for you doing that? Because then you're putting it out there into the world, and people are going to look at it. What's the feeling like the day before people are going to come and see the artwork?
I think the day before it's really good because it's kind of just, you see your stuff up there and you're like, yeah, fuck, this doesn't look so bad. It looks kind of good actually, but I think up to that point, it's like, have you ever had that fear? Like you invite people to a party and you're afraid nobody's gonna show up. Yeah, that's like. That's the
feeling. Ever had a podcast just getting no one's gonna watch?
No.
So yeah, that's how it feels. And the day after, you're again like, oh fuck, my work stinks. It's so bad.
You get like the panic thing, like 5 minutes before doors open. You're like, I just want to take everything down now, pack it up, and we'll just go home, pretend this didn't happen.
Do you get like hangover the day after when like everything's finished? You know, everyone was there, like everything happened. Do you get like, wow?
Because you're always like up to that moment, you're so tense, and it's just. Did I choose the right pictures? How am I gonna hang them? If I come to the gallery tomorrow, are they still gonna be straight? What if something fell down and I have to like find a replacement for that picture, and I don't have anything with me? So it's like a lot of, and of course the anxiety of like, what if nobody buys my stuff? What if nobody shows up? And if I'm just doing this for no one? But I think in those moments, it's really important to remind yourself why you do art. And I think first and foremost, it's always just for yourself to be able to satisfy this kind of urge that you feel.
Like a burning inside yourself. That if you didn't create, you'd feel worse. It's kind of you have to feed that flame so it keeps going. And that's kind of what we find with creativity, and the people we talk to with on here. It's something that people have to do. And some people like David, who we interviewed, it's kind of part of his daily routine now. He can go to his studio and work with his clay and with his sculpting. He does that like every afternoon, and it's a part of his routine. Sometimes nothing comes of it. Sometimes he makes a lot of things there, but he feels it's something he has to do. Like every day. And do you find, and we talk also about like what times of day do you usually create, but I think if I can read between the lines, like evening time seems like when you're wanting to set time to be creative.
I think it's the only time I have, because I have a kid at home, and it's a full-time job and stuff. I am the most creative, I would say, like before lunch. And that kind of sucks, because that means I have to like have this really strong feeling, I want to create, but I can't do it now. And by the time I get home, I think that's also part of the reason I like in certain periods of my life don't create as much as I want to, because then it's like, it's gone. The urge is gone for today, and then it's coming back tomorrow. And it's always back and forth.
It's such a frustrating patterned thing, but I think we find that a lot of people can relate to that one. Especially creative people have this like surge in the morning that they see like the dawn is rising, and they're like, I can write something about this or do something about this, but I've got to get my breakfast, I've got to get the kids to school, I've got to go and fix this, I've got to drive here, I've got the report coming in, okay, I'm doing this one, like, all right, 6 o'clock in the evening now, we're going to fix food, we're going to do this. Now I just want to go to bed.
Exactly. It's like on the way home I can be like, okay, tonight I'm going to sit down and be super creative, and by the time I put my daughter to bed, it's like, nope. I just want to lay in bed and watch Love is Blind. Like, that's it.
I think it is for a lot of people, I think. So after your sabbatical, your journey, your education in Finland, then did you move straight back to Sweden, or was there another stop along the way?
I moved straight back to Sweden. And by then I had actually realized, because I studied photography, and I had realized that I didn't like the art scene that much, or at least the photography scene, because I felt like this is just people doing work for each other. It's just this closed room where it's really hard to get into, like the
elitist society.
Exactly.
Expensive equipment.
Exactly, and also just who are we making? Of course for ourselves, but who are we making this for? I mean, it's not going to be the stay-at-home mom who has like no money or time to go and watch art. So then I got interested in working with commercials. So I started studying again to work in marketing, and that actually also gave me the opportunity to just focus more on my work in regards to like what is I really want to do, and just like be able to explore freely, and just explore different techniques and get more and more abstract in my work and try on different stuff as well.
Do you feel like you are as much of a critic to your like day-to-day work as you are in your art?
No.
No. So you're more free and out there in.
Why are you asking me this? Do you know?
I'm just.
you know how it is, huh? Yeah.
She's a very good reader.
Yeah. But I think it's because my job work, I take it less personally. Like it's just and I've thought about a lot actually. Like how can I apply this mode of thinking to my art as well? But it's super hard because it's
you're putting your soul out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we talked about that in an episode as well. Just like why is it that as you get older you get less creative? And I don't think we do. I think we just put more boundaries on ourselves, more hesitant, more masks, more we can't be all that we are because who would like that? And we just adopt those truths without even asking or double checking, is it really true? No, probably not, but that's what I'm thinking about myself.
I think that's that's really how it is. I think we just restrain ourselves way too much.
I think so as well.
I don't know, for me personally, I mean, when I was studying photography, I had like this one series that I did where I would photograph people having sex. And that's something I wouldn't do today. Not because I don't think it was a great idea, because it was, but because I would just like restrain myself from doing it, because I would be like, okay, what are those people?
What would they think of that?
So you wouldn't even start the idea of it, because you'd already be like, I've got 50 reasons I shouldn't do this. And to even get through them to start the idea.
And I think those are usually the best ideas, when you just, let go of everything and just become that, I don't know, animal or whatever.
I mean, that's the thing. If you look at music with bands who like, okay, this is the record that they broke through on. Maybe had like a first record which was like, it's okay, and the second record, we broke through on that because they let everything, they learned their craft, they let their ideas raw going out. And then by the 5th, 6th, 7th album, it's like they're just trying to recapture
the feeling of the
things, but now they're in a different corporate world, and it's just they're not able to get that again. It's the same with a lot of artists. The raw idea is like we don't know this like time frame where it is until it's kind of gone, I suppose. But what we're saying now, it's not necessarily that it's gone. We just have to rethink about it.
And also like what I see for myself is that the first thought I have is usually the best one, and then I overthink it, and it's not as good because I put all this restraints on and why and why not and blah blah blah, and then it's just not that good anymore. But the first, like, this is what I'm gonna do.
That instinct.
That's the best one.
And I think I believe that you always kind of iterate on your idea. You have this idea and you start reworking it. But if you never even put it on paper, of course it's gonna die. It's like it sucks.
I wonder what the next creative thing we're all going to do. I think all three of us here are going to be like, okay, I'm going to try something completely new.
Just do it.
Yeah.
What Kara said, do it scared.
Do it scared. That was a great.
Wait,
she said so she was talking to a friend who she wouldn't really put themselves out there, I guess, in the podcast episode that we have with her. And she told us that she had just said, do it scared. Like, you're gonna be scared, just do it anyway. That's like Nike, just do it.
That reminds me of like my philosophy actually, because I've done a lot of things that are kind of, I don't know if you can say outside the box, I don't know, whatever. But things that I went into being scared. And the thing is, like, I decided at some point, like, I'm not gonna not do things because I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
That's the more reason that's why I did wrestling, because I was like, scared shitless. That's why I went to, I know, to silent retreat for 10 days and, you know, all these kind of things just to, that's where you grow, of course.
Yeah, but it's outside your comfort zone.
But I don't know what it is. And maybe you had like some kind of thought on it, but I don't know what it is that makes it so hard when it comes to art.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think that's what we said. You said it before. It's like your self-reflection. And it is your soul stripped back of everything else, because what you're putting out there is more like your pure version of your own thoughts.
Yeah.
You can't dress it up as anything else.
Yeah.
And maybe that vulnerability is like a scared of being like rejected for that idea. Like, if this is my pure idea and these people don't like it, what does it say about me? Maybe that's where the root of it is.
Yeah, we were talking about in another episode, like wearing these masks. And so there's this guy that says he's a psychopath and he's really good at reading people and stuff like that, but he makes the weirdest movie scenes and stuff like that, because and then his persona is that he's a psychopath.
Is it that guy on Instagram?
I don't know. I don't have Instagram, but it's like, the thing is we put a mask on and then it's okay. But for us to be us and just let it be what it is, that's the scary part. And I mean, it's not just, I think, art. I think it's about feelings, relationships, everything like that. It's scary. And when it's scary, you're fearful and you're doing it out of fear, or maybe you're like afraid of letting it shine or be vulnerable in that moment. Like, okay, this is my work. I've put everything in this and people are not liking it. Like that's
so hard.
It is hard.
I think that's like one of the biggest struggles.
But I like that I like the do it scared part. Like, do it anyway. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? And actually, if we think about it, nothing. Like, right? It's not that bad.
You know, we build it up in our own minds, I think, more than it actually is. It's true. I was thinking about what with the wrestling as well, like putting on a mask. Cause, like, you created a character, like the Kat Carnage gimmick, which could be there. How does it feel like for you creating that and makeup and the whole look and everything?
It felt really powerful. Because I was in total control of who I was as that character.
Exactly.
And and then also just being able to like go up in that ring and you just feel strong.
And you just own it.
People don't know you were like a bad guy character. So like it's not unusual, but kind of unusual for like women wrestlers in the first matches to come out as like a bad guy character. Usually you can be good and then you turn bad, but to say like, I'm the bad guy from the beginning, so you're creating from the start. It's like, this is who I am, bad guy, creating the look and everything. So we're talking about a metaphorical mask, but it's kind of literally having this is who I am for this character in this time. You said about like empowering.
Because it's also like, you know, I wish I was a bad bitch, but I really am not. Like at all. I'm super insecure. I, you know, have my doubts. I think I'm probably kind of neurotic as well, a bit. But and that gave me the opportunity to be that person that I like think I am, but I'm really not.
Like, that you want to be, or maybe wish to be a bit more.
So that was really that was cool.
I think that also is something that I've thought about a lot. Like, all of us, we're human, of course, and we have shadows. Like, we have things that we are not as proud of, and they are still a part of us, but we try often to put them aside. Like, they don't matter, but they do matter, because when we accept them, we also accept us in a way where we can be vulnerable in a much more intense way. I think. So I use that part, like the icky, the like I'm not really proud of this part when I write, because that makes me a better writer, because I can see all of the perspectives, not just oh, everything's so good and rosy and blah blah. But, like there's depth, there's like complexity in that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just the rosy, everything's golden and I'm just happy kind of.
And that's like what I find so hard to like get over that that, I don't know, border where you just, you let yourself be that vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think it's so hard, and it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. Yeah. And I guess I think that's also like sometimes you can look at art and you can feel like this is someone who's really like put their heart into this. And sometimes you can look at art and be like, no, this feels kind of flat. And I think that's kind of the difference, because I think those kind of things you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think another question: do you think if you're making art, are you making it with the perception that you're trying to meet somebody's expectations? Maybe somebody doesn't exist. Just as a question.
Good question.
Like there's a fictional person who you made up who's watching this and who's either the critic or who's seeing or who's judging. And you're like, I've got to meet their expectations, but they don't exist as an actual person.
Or is it you?
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's well, that's a really good question. I think I do see that person.
Because I want to like tie back into the idea of what you're doing with your art, with the duality of like different things. Because I mean, maybe that's also within the process of how you're creating. Like you're feeling secure about this, or you're feeling like, yeah, I'm definitely wanting to do this. But then you've got the other side here, the fictional person with the doubts. But then you're overcoming that. You think, oh, actually, I can. And then you may be doubting yourself, but then maybe you're thinking, actually, no, I can. So it's kind of a mix there. I'm not sure if maybe that is what's coming through in the art as well.
I think so. I definitely think so. And now that you mention it, I think also like the kind of art I choose to do, like collage, is in itself, I think, represents this duality, because you create something, you try to create art out of something that isn't art. And there's also like this if you replace the word duality with conflict, there's a conflict there, that it's something that might not be art, but you just do something to it that labels it as art. And this kind of also questions the whole art scene itself again, and the idea of what is art and what isn't, and who gets to say what is art and what isn't. And I think that's there's also that in itself, I feel is sort of a rebellious act. And I think that's also kind of why I love doing collage so much, because it's like saying fuck you. To like,
you have your rules, you have your regulations. You said this, but actually I'm doing this. This is art.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also like I've always been fascinated with like artists like, I don't know, Duchamp and the Dadaist movement and stuff, because that's exactly what they do. They just say, we just do something completely different and we can still call it art. We can like take a common object and just sign it, and that's it. I think that's really cool.
Do you find that it's work with collage that you're doing now mostly, or are you keeping up with the photography as well? Or is that something that's on the back burner more or less?
I recently took out my old camera
Oh.
and bought some film. Yeah, I have used it once so far because it's like this natural that I used to have. Just always having my camera with me, thinking about that I have it with me, and seeing having those eyes, like viewing the world with those eyes. I think that's something I need to train again.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do collage, and I'm exploring artificial intelligence in art as well. So I've been trying to see how I can use that as a tool, and then I combine that with last year I started doing cyanotypes, which is like an alternative photo process.
Wow.
It's like those deep blue images.
Yeah.
And I think right now it's mostly just like playing around with things I find interesting. I want to try.
That's the best thing. I mean, when we play around, when we find our inner child, just the energy kind of playing and experimenting and not knowing how it's supposed to be.
Well, that's the thing. There is no supposed to be.
Exactly.
The creativity of art and finding your own path, because what you're meant to create is what you're meant to create.
Yeah.
And how we do that is kind of up to ourselves.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think it's also like always the fun part about starting with a new kind of art form, because you're going to be bad at it.
Yeah.
Like there's just and so you don't start comparing yourself right away.
The restrictions are gone.
Exactly. So you just play around, and you need to figure stuff out. How does this work? And what happens if I do this? And that's really nice.
It's fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be like if we were going to continue with our idea that we three were going to start a band, which we're going to do, by the way. So stay tuned for that one. But let's say we'd all choose instruments or choose things that we'd never played before. At the beginning, we'd probably be quite terrible at it. So say I would be doing the drums, and can you play guitar?
I can play it, but I don't know if it's going to sound good.
So we'd all choose instruments that we can't play, but I'm sure after 3 or 4 months, we'd all be, okay, we're okay at doing this. And then maybe after a year, we could actually have a gig, and it would probably sound quite good. Not going to be, Led Zeppelin or anything.
Yeah.
But we're going to do like experimental rock.
Yeah.
I think we would do. It'd be very creative.
Exactly.
I think we have to come up with a good name. Yeah. Well, your point was, as you were saying, when we're trying a new form of something, it's not going to be completely right at the beginning.
No, exactly.
And it'll take a while to do that. And it can be the same with any endeavor. Very lucky people who are amazing at something straight away.
But it can also be restricting, as we talked about. Like, imagine being the best pianist, like in all times, and then always being judged. Yeah. From that, like
That's the thing. It's always going to come up new people and be someone who's better.
Yeah.
And then you'd be always looking over your shoulder and not actually appreciate.
Yeah, not just do it because it's fun, because you have this standard now that you have to.
You have to keep them. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it sounds that fun.
No.
It's not for me, I think.
But doesn't that always happen? Like even if we would start a band, like after a while we would also feel that way. Isn't that just kind of the nature of...
Well, it has been good different ways though. But I know people who have started bands and they've done it for fun to start with, and then they realize they're quite good, and then they get booked for things depending on what they're doing. Cover songs, for example. And then people booking them for weddings and stuff. Oh, getting a bit of money and stuff, and it's good. But then after a while, we keep playing the same songs, and they lose the creativity. They're like, oh, but we get paid a bit of money, and it's good supplemental income to have this.
But it's not as fun.
The creative juices have then been squeezed out of the entire process.
Yeah.
So like, why are we doing this anymore?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. There's not this.
But when you're aware of it, you can also like question it in like during the process, so that you don't fall into now we've got nothing.
Called blah 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 something. I don't know.
Blah blah blah.
A band called Asperia.
Shouldn't you have the word like collage in there somewhere as well?
Or Carnage.
Kat Carnage is collage. The Carnage collage.
The Carnage collection.
Carnage collection.
Collective carnage.
Collective Carnage. Okay, so we're a 3-piece called Collective Carnage.
I heard someone say once, if it's free, you're probably the product being sold.
Definitely.
And
That is so
Definitely.
true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's so true.
That is. So
So
just
we're
saying.
products.
We're all products.
Yeah, I feel really like a product.
So the band is called what? Product Carnage.
The collective
The collective.
Collective
No,
Carnage.
Yeah.
What are we going to sing about? Are we going to sing at all? We don't necessarily have to sing.
I don't know.
I think we
We're
want
gonna
to sing.
scream a bit.
Yeah. I really like the Velvet Underground.
Mm.
That's kind of.
I haven't heard.
Nico and Lou Reed and with the album with a banana thing on it
Yeah.
and stuff.
Andy Warhol.
And
banana.
yeah,
Mm.
Sorry.
Oof,
Lost.
what else? Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah, that kind of like weird, almost like psychedelic stuff. It's really good.
Do you like Wes Anderson's films?
Mm.
Yeah. He's Nico singing on Tannenbaum's, I think. Favorite films.
Yeah, I don't remember that. That they.
I think they used a lot of soundtracks.
Huh. Let's check it out.
See, now it's not on this one. We're using
Yeah, no.
these talking bollocks. People will check it afterwards and be like, no, it's wrong.
Take it out now.
That's what,
Front row, brother, take it out.
that's what I've heard is like a YouTube thing. It's like we should just talk complete nonsense because it's how you get people writing stuff. So you just make up a completely incorrect fact, present it as real, just because people write in the comments because people are so like there's so much money to write that you're wrong. So if I say, yeah, Life Aquatic, that was brilliant. There was so many songs by Bob Dylan there. And it was like David Bowie songs done in Portuguese and Brazilian.
Yeah.
But if you claim that as a fact and you do it on purpose, just because you'll get like 50 people writing, oh, he's an idiot, he thinks it's this and it's actually this. And then you have people arguing in the comments. And you'd be saying that like, yeah,
Perfect.
YouTube videos got like 25,000 views now.
Viral.
So,
Yeah.
so on, what should the name of our band be? Is the question.
Yeah.
Even though we know what the name. No.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, and then you just like
thumbnail.
pop.
Yeah. The thumbnail soldiers.
Yeah.
I like that. No, I don't like the word soldiers.
The thumbnail hammer.
So thumbnailers.
Thumbnailers.
Hi, we're the thumbnailers, and we're here to play your favorite songs.
Thumbnailers.
What's the best song you know on the banjo?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Hi, we're the thumbnailers. So we need
There's a new song called Microsoft 95.
I'm more of a Google.
Well, it's back in 95 and Google just
Really?
found it.
I'm more of a big person.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yahoo!
Oh, that's so good.
Yahoo!
All this is Silicon Valley Blues. I mean, bing, bing, bing. Bill Gates won't return my calls. Go to Yahoo. Just do a whole song like that.